On this edition of Mocs News, anti-abortion protests visited UTC.
The blood drive drew in new student and faculty for the fall blood drive.
We take a look back at a UTC program that is focused on diversity and inclusion. I'm Heidi Breitmann.
And I'm Jeremiah Beatty. Your news starts now.
Right to Life activists confronted people at UTC with graphic images of abortion. Members of Created Equal stood at the corner of Douglas and Oak Friday. The organization is based out of Columbus, Ohio. They take the stance that abortion is discrimination, and they are taking this campaign to defend equality by being anti-abortion.
Created Equal, a pro-life group, created quite a stir on Friday afternoon. Starting in the morning hours, the nonprofit organization set up at different crosswalks around Douglas Street, using graphic and bloody images to illustrate their points. Create Equal hopes to start a dialogue with UTC students about the subject of abortion. EVANGELINE DUNN, a member of Create Equal, defended both the inflammatory signs and the reasoning behind them.
Yeah, the pictures are graphic because abortion is graphic. We're out here to show the truth of abortion and asking people what they think. Looking at scientific research, we see that from the moment of fertilization, it is in fact a human from the law of biogenesis. And every embryologist will agree that from the moment of fertilization, that's when life begins. So I would ask them to do some more research.
Their methods were met with different reactions from various UTC students. Some vehemently opposed what Create Equal was advocating for.
Women should have a choice what to do with their bodies. And when they make that choice, they should make it, of course, as informative as possible.
And some wanted to talk with Create Equal, but were hesitant because of the signs.
For me personally, I do want to talk to those people and get their perspective on the issue, share my perspective, but when I walk into that, it makes me not want to start any kind of conversation with them just because it's a very touchy subject to begin with already. I feel like there's probably an easier way to approach the subject.
According to EVANGELINE DUNN, Create Equal was not affiliated with any particular religious or political group. They were cleared by UTC to set up their signs and speak ahead of time, and were out there for several hours. With Mocs News, this has been Joseph Dicus. Now back to the studio.
UTC police say they are investigating a report of stalking. Investigators say the suspect had a relationship with the alleged victim. They also say the stalking happened several times on campus over the period of a week. Police now have a description of the suspect and the suspect's car. Chattanooga Police is also involved in the investigation. If you need help, remember you can call UTC Police at 425-HELP or 4257.
While many of us enjoyed our fall break, others came back to campus early for MOC-Forward.
In this case, MOC stands for Moving Our Campus Forward on Diversity and Inclusion, and this year's conversation is a key element.
This one-day conference is intended to celebrate our diversity and all that it adds to our campus. Diversity and inclusion are at the heart of who we are as an institution and at the heart of what we do. Our responsibility to our students and our community drives us to work hard, to keep pressing, to go the extra mile. Our students will work in a world that is very small, one where they will work with people who are very different from they are. If they're to be successful, we must do our very best to equip them with the tools that they need to navigate this very diverse world.
It is our job as faculty, staff, administrators, and students. We have the critical task of needing to find ways to facilitate conversation among diverse groups. We realize that we must guide students from where they were when they joined us to where they should be as they leave.
Some Something new has started with this year's conference. It's called the Conversation Corner, and now you can see it at the University Center. It's just right around the corner from the food court. The corner has 2 comfortable chairs, a table plus boards with conversation starters. The purpose is to get our campus talking and promote better understanding. The Conversation Corner will move to other parts of campus throughout the year, so watch for it and take part. One of the more extraordinary moments from the conference came at this breakout session for line dancing. The thought behind it is you work to dance together, therefore you are more in tune with each other as a group. You could see a number of our professors and school leaders trying out their line dancing skills. However, some left when our camera came into the room. Dr. Felicia McGee, we know where you work and we're gonna get that video.
The biannual Fall Blood Drive was hosted this week in the University Center. The nonprofit organization Blood Assurance seeks to provide blood transplants to all patients in need. Hundreds of UTC students and faculty donated blood in their free time.
Yes, UTC always does a wonderful job supporting us. It's been very steady. Students come out, staff comes out. It's a great energy, and we do really well. We end up at the end of both days typically with about between 400 and 500 units of blood, which is huge.
These donations go on to save even more lives in the Chattanooga area.
When it comes to weather, more of the same, please.
Or will rain spoil out fall fun? Here's Brendan Robinson with the new answer.
It's finally that time of year, sweater weather. Things have finally cooled off and it looks like it's going to stay that way. Today we will see partly cloudy skies with a high of 75 and a low of 54. For Saturday, expect chances of rain with a high of 66 and a low of 40. On Sunday Fun Day, we will see sunny skies with a high of 59 and a low of 40. Next week we will see partly cloudy skies early in the week and chances of rain towards the end of the week. So don't forget to put on your fuzzy socks and carry an umbrella. I'll see you next week. Back to the news desk.
Homecoming starts this weekend, and the theme is a scary one. It's called Nightmare on Oak Street. The event kicks off with the day of service Saturday morning, and you can get involved. This is a video from last year's day of service where some students planted flowers while others poured gravel in the ROTC workout area, and another set of folks cleaned campus golf carts. Check-in is at 10 in the morning at the Tennessee Room campus. Beautification is first followed by many community projects. See you there.
Speaking of homecoming, UTC football returned to their winning ways. The Mocs beat Western Carolina University in pretty convincingly fashion. The final score was 26-6. The Mocs are off this week, but next week is homecoming with Mocs hosting VMI at Finley Stadium.
Meanwhile, men's basketball is getting ready for their season opener. The Mocs have been practicing for the past 3 weeks. They will open their season on the road at Charlotte on November 6th.
Meanwhile, women's soccer wraps up their regular season on the road. They play second place UNCG. The Lady Mocs are playing their best season in a dozen years. They have an 8-6-2 record with a 7 wins by the way of a shutout.
The Mega Millions jackpot has climbed to $970 million, inching ever closer to the $1 billion mark. Officials raised the estimated jackpot Thursday for the second time due to strong sales ahead of Friday night's drawing. The prize is the second largest jackpot in the U.S. history, behind only a $1.6 billion Powerball, prize won in 2016.
A Turkish official said investigators are looking into the possibility that missing Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi's remains may have been taken to a forest outside Istanbul. That happened after his suspected killing at the consulate earlier this month. The official wanted to remain anonymous because of the secrecy of the investigation. It was not immediately clear if police had already searched the forest.
Just 1 in 4 people think Brett Kavanaugh was completely honest when, as a Supreme Court nominee, he gave sworn testimony last month, according to a new poll released Friday. The Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs research survey also found that the public holds dim views of how major players handled the extraordinary battle. President Donald Trump, Senate Republicans, and Democrats, and the FBI each earned approval from 32% or less of the poll's respondents.
Nebraska is rolling out a new tourism campaign titled Nebraska. Honestly, it's not for everyone. The new slogan will replace the old Through My Eyes. Nebraska State Tourism Director said that, quote, to make people listen, you have to hook them somehow. We had to shake people up, unquote. Nebraska is one of the least visited states in the U.S.
A pig the size of a mini horse was running hog wild in Highland, California earlier this week. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office received a call about a pig running loose on Saturday. Officers quickly responded to the scene and came up with a clever idea of how to capture the pig. One officer had a bag of Doritos in her lunch bag and used the chips to lure the pig into a cage and take him back to his home.
That does it for this edition of Mocs News. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to check out our website, mocsnews.com, to continue following the news throughout the week.
And while you are there, make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a great weekend from all of us here at Mocs News.